event rolls on with one of our favorite coaches of all time. It's Cascade Champions Kenny Parker. How you doing, Coach?
Doing great, Gary. How about y'all?
We're doing wonderful. You're not sitting at the huddle house mapping out any plans for the season, are you?
No, I'm on the game field and getting ready to mow if I can get another hour and a half without rain.
Amen,
Coach,
brother.
you still mow that old game field every day?
Every other day if it don't rain.
Well, it's good to have you on the show. I know that we had Coach McDaniel and some of the other coaches are not real happy about the alignment that's coming up this season. You're one of those coaches that's not real happy about that.
Well, I mean, we're going to be a little fish in a big pond, but we're still going to swim, so we'll give it all we got. We'll maybe dodge a few bullets and maybe sneak up behind somebody. I don't know.
Well, hey, Coach, we refer to everyone as Coach on here, but it means a little bit more for me. This is Josh Mulder interviewing you. We got a big leap for the champions this year, moving up from 2A to 3A. Were you guys anticipating this move at the end of last season? Did it come as a shock? How have you been preparing for that?
Well, we knew we were right there on the fence, and we knew we could go one way or the other. And it was really out of our hands. We just sat back and we said it'll play out like it'll play out. Unfortunately, we crossed over the fence. We still got to play, still the same field, still the same ball, just a little bigger challenge. But you know, we've had some pretty good classes, and I've told the coaches that we're not really happy. We would like to be where we were, but if we were going to have to make the move, I guess these classes we got right now are as good as any if we're going to have to make that transition. So, you know, it is what it is. We can't sit back and gripe about it and complain about it. We've just got to get in and work a little harder and, you know, challenge our kids. And I think our kids are into it. And we've been trying to sell them on the fact that, you know, as a high school kid, all your dreams are playing college football one day. And we're going to play against some kids that are definitely going to be playing college football next year, several in the SEC. So if coaches are watching them and we're playing, they're seeing us also, so we got a chance to make a statement.
Hey, Coach, this is Trey McAllen. I was going to ask you a question on more on a positive note. I know you guys returned 17 starters on the team that reached the second round last season before losing to the eventual champions, Friendship Christian. Creed Rose, great hard runner that I've seen a few times personally myself, and probably at this level of football at all, he's one of the toughest I've ever seen. Well, I'm sure he'll be your workhorse this season on offense, but what other kids are you expected to contribute a lot as far as getting to the point where you want to be as far as successfully goes with this season?
Well, moving up where we're moving up, you know, you can't be a one-horse man. Last year we were able to ride Creed probably a little bit too much. It took its toll on him late in the season. We lost our quarterback. We had a freshman quarterback last year, Chandler Sulser. He's transferred to Blackman. But a young man that had been in our school for years that moved away has moved back, Austin Haas, and he'll probably be running our show on offense. Good athlete, hard competitor, and I think he'll do a good job for us. And then, you know, we're going to have to throw the ball a little bit more. And he does a good job with that. Got several senior receivers. Got a senior tight end, Nolan Barnes, who's a big kid that has good hands, and Jesse Barnes, which they're not related. He's another big receiver. And we had a kid that didn't play last year. His name's Ivan Spencer's he's pretty quick. We feel like we have some kids to go with him. Dakota Vault is back. He's a senior. Brady Parker is going to be a sophomore that's really worked hard in the off season and changed his body, so it looks like he may get a chance. So we feel like we have a few more weapons this year, and a field general that's a sophomore that's been in the battles. So we're excited.
Hey, Coach, another question about the run game with Creed Rose. And I know you alluded to saying that you're going to have to pass the ball a lot more to become more two-dimensional instead of one-dimensional. But is the offense still based around run to pass and from the mindset of keeping other teams off the field, especially, take a Giles County, who is a high-powered offense? Is that is that kind of the mindset with using Creed in that aspect of kind of time management and clock control?
Well, I think that is a key. I've told our guys one of the things about what we're doing, we may not be fancy, but if we got the ball, the odds of them scoring aren't very good. So that is something that's going to have to, stick in part of our game plan week in and week out. But again, I don't think we're going to be able to hand Creed the ball 25 times a game like we did last year. I just don't think with the level of competition, and it's just not the level of competition. It's the fact that in single A ball and double A ball, you can play both sides because the guy you're playing both sides against is probably playing both sides also. We're getting into 3A and 4A where guys are two platooning, and the defensive players are having a chance to rest on offense, so they're going to be fresher. And we catch. That's one thing we're really working hard right now on, trying to get ourselves in a position where we don't have to rely on as many kids on one side, but just on one side of the ball and not playing both sides. And it's harder on our kids now because a lot of our better athletes have been accustomed to playing both sides, and they sort of feel shunned a little bit. But I'm good enough to play on the other side, so that's a mindset that we're having to work internally on.
Coach, you've touched base on the returning talent, offensive and defensive schemes, but I haven't heard anything about special teams yet. I know you've had a rich history of excellent kickers. What's that look like this year?
Why you say that,
Except
Josh?
for that 1 year.
Wonder why he says that, Coach.
I was telling a guy last night, we had a middle school game, and I said, over the years we have really been blessed with kickers at this school.
You tell him, Coach.
We've taken kids that just want to be kickers and don't ask them to do anything else, because kicking's the main aspect in the ball game. And we've got a young man who's a sophomore, who's a freshman last year, Trent Sutton, who has he's gone to a lot of kicking camps over the summer.
Stephanie's son.
He's built he's got a goal post at his house.
Nice.
He's really dedicated into what he's doing. He's kicked at a lot of camps this year where I'm not familiar with our new names, but the young man at Marshall County that's committed to UT, he's kicked with him. The Will Hoyt guy that kicked at UT is this
James
young man's
Will
personal coach. And when Will Hoyt saw Trent at one of the camps, he let them know that he wants to start working with him next year. Trent's able right now to kick the ball at least 3 yards deep in the end zone. So, that's a blessing for us. And he's just a young man. He's really.
That's a big advantage in high school, Coach. You got to make them go 80 yards every time.
Hey, if we can just jog down the field instead of having to sprint down the field and knowing it's going to go in the end zone and they're going to have to start at the 20, that's a whole lot better than what we did last year. Now, Trent was thrown into the fire last year. He had to kick as a freshman. He kicked everything we did as a freshman. But his big part of him is, he's able to kick the ball, but he's really worked on his punting game this year. And he's probably going to be our punter also, so he's going to be that's an asset.
All right, Kenny, this is Neil Gordon.
Hey,
and I know you met your classes this week, and a lot of people may not know this, but Coach Parker is a fine mathematics teacher, and I want to know, what are your algebra prospects looking like for this year?
Slim to none.
Woo, really?
Oh, no, I've got good,
I met my classes too, Kenny. I'll call you later when we're off the air. We'll commiserate for a little while. How about that?
I'll tell you, Neil, you know we've worked together. I take as much pride in the classroom as I do on the field.
Yes, you do, my friend.
And, got some really good kids, and they're going to work hard just like our football players are going to work hard.
Coach Kenny always said there's more than one way to get to war trace when solving a math problem.
Darn straight. I use an analogy line like that too, Kenny. I appreciate that, man. Hey, we're going to let you get on back to your work, Kenny, because I know you're a hard-working man. So thanks for calling in, and we appreciate it.
I'll send Josh over to Weed Eat for you, Coach.
Hey, I can use him right now. I'll look for him about 10 minutes.
All right. Good luck with the season, Coach.
All right. Thank you, guys.
All right. We're going to take a break here on our high school preview. We're back with Coach John Olive right